everybody.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back to our channel. This video is going to be about our coming out story, especially with everything that's going on right now in the LGBTQ community. We thought that, this video could possibly help out a lot of people and, just in general give people ideas about how we came out and how was it when we came out and things like that. Everybody has a different story and this is ours. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the video. Alright, so I don't actually know the date or the time that I came out.
Please.
I do know the place. Actually, when I first came out, I came out on 2 different occasions. The first time that I came out, I remember I was in the kitchen and my mom, she was at the kitchen table and she was playing cards by herself. She was playing solitaire, whatever. And like, I forgot what we were talking about at the time. And she was like, yeah, I just can't wait until you get married and you can bring your husband. And I was like, husband? She was like, yeah, your husband. I was like, well, mama, how you know I'm not going to have a wife? And my mama whipped her neck around so quick, baby, that black girl wick. And she was like, you're trying to tell me you're gay? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I am. Because at the time, I actually was bisexual, like I liked boys and I liked girls equally at the time. So it was like,
hip hip hooray.
I'm just like, mom, whatever come be so as it may, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So anyway, she didn't feel too kindly about that. She was like, oh honey, you're just confused, it's just a phase and this and that. That time she didn't react as bad as she could have, but it was still pretty bad to me because like that was like my mom telling me that I didn't have a choice, I had to be with a guy. And that's just the thing, like a lot of places are trying to rub religion into who you love, who you want to be with. And the thing is, like, you shouldn't have to choose who you want to be in love with. It's your choice. Absolutely, 100% your choice. If you wanted to be alone for the rest of your life, that's your choice. If you want to be married to a guy, that's your choice. If you want to be married to a girl, that's your choice. Like, I feel personally that it is nobody else's business who you're in bed with as long as you're happy, because you have to live your life.
Simple.
Plain and simple. That was a little bit of advice mixed in with that, but anyway. So the second time that I came out, this is around the time that me and Cindy were actually dating. And I don't know, I was going through like, the high school phase where, you keep drawing the person's name on your papers and binders and things like that. And my mom just so happened, well, also I wrote urban novels, so she found one of my urban novels which included lesbian sex in it. So she was kind of like freaking out right then and there about it. And then on top of that, like, she started noticing how I was writing her name on everything that I had. So she just like approached me one day and she was like, come here, let me ask you something. Already I'm skeptical. I'm like, oh shit, this can't be great. You're asking to talk to me. It's usually me having to ask to talk to you. So anyway, she asked me, she sat me down in the living room. I'll never forget it. We had a beige leather sofa at the time, and she looked me right in my eyes. Of course, she wasn't on the same couch with me. She was across the way. Homophobia. Classic homophobia. And she just looked at me square in my eyes and she said, are you in love with a girl named, I'm just gonna say her Cindy, okay? And I was like, why would you say that? And she's like, because you're drawing it everywhere, and I've been reading your books that you're writing, and it's no longer, a heterosexual type of relations. It's homosexual and it's with a girl. So I'm asking you, are you in love with her? And I said, yes. And she flipped. She lost everything but shit, okay? She got up and she went in the room. She didn't say not another word to me. She just got up. She went in her room. She closed her door. She got dressed. Before you know it, I could hear her grabbing for her car keys. And then she left. It was still morning time when everything occurred. I do know that. By the time that she came back, it was nighttime. And she left. When she came back, I said, Mom, are you okay? Just checking on her. Because this is still my life choice. You see what I'm saying? So she tells me, she's like, I love you. But I'm not going to undress around you anymore. Classic homophobia. And make sure you knock when you come in my room. And she went in her room. And she closed the door. That was that. So then I wound up calling my dad after the situation happened. And I also let him know that, Dad, you don't need to expect a son-in-law. It's going to be a daughter-in-law. And he was like, okay, you're not the first gay person, honey, and you damn sure ain't going to be the last. That brought so much comfort to my soul when my dad was on my side about that, because I literally felt like I was alone in it. So that was a big relief for me. My grandma, she kind of flip-flopped. One minute she was like, oh honey, that's all right, you're gonna be all right. And then it was like the very next minute, you're going to hell for that, right? And I'm like, you know what, let me tell you something. I don't believe I'm going to hell for it.
There, she said it.
If God really wanted to get rid of gays, don't you think he would have did it by now?
Good point.
He has the ability to do anything. If we were really that big of an abomination, don't you think that he would have got rid of us by now? And then on top of that, just for confirmation, just so y'all get some peace of mind, I was going to a traditional church. And I walked up to my pastor. And I was trying to go and get saved again because I was having unnatural thoughts of being with a woman. And I went up to him and he asked me, he said, okay, what are you trying to get saved for? And I let him know. I said, I'm having unnatural thoughts about being with a woman. And he looked at me and he said, how do you know the feelings that you're having is unnatural? And I was like, what do you mean? This is a pastor telling me this. And he says to me, he says, you're not hurting anybody. You're trying to love. And that's just the thing. That's what half of these people that's claiming to be Christian aren't getting. That God wants you to love regardless. You're choosing who to love. In return, you're loving everybody. Like, you're not picking anybody out for doing whatever. Every sin is equal. Don't feel like you're being judged specifically on just being gay, because we all have our crosses to bear. And that, to me, gave me confirmation that what everybody else is saying is bullshit. Like, complete bullshit. Like,
Bullshit.
bullshit. Well, that's just my coming out story. I know Cindy has one too. Oh, baby.
Yes, I do. Nah, I'm playing. My coming out story was it was interesting. Let me put it like that. At the time, my mom and my dad, they were going through a divorce. So my dad was with his new family, and I was with my mom. And at the time, we were also homeless. So we moved into the house with my aunt, and just one random night, we was watching the TV in the TV room, and my mom were talking and stuff, and I have no idea what was on the TV that I just bluntly up and just said something about my sexuality. So I can't recall it, but I do know I was like, see, that's why I don't mess with boys. I remember what I said. And my mom looked at me and she was like, wait, repeat that? And I said, what? She said, no, repeat what you just said. And I was like, I said that's why I don't mess with boys. She said, so wait, you mess with girls? And I was like, at the time I was also bisexual, but I was leaning more towards girls. And I was like, I don't know. I said, I believe so. And she was like, okay, so you're bi. And I was like, I think so. Because at the time, when you're going through a traumatizing time with your parents divorcing, you're homeless, and you also have these unnatural feelings, you know, you don't know what the hell is coming from. You don't know what's triggering it. You're like, okay, maybe this is just a phase. And so my mom thought. She was like, okay, so it's still a possibility that I might have grandkids. I was like,
what is that?
babe.
I'm sorry.
I was like, yeah, maybe. So, as the time go on, I must say I was an internet whore. I was a big internet whore. But other than that, you know, I was talking to a lot of chicks at the time. And I didn't even notice, but my family members that I was living with, they were listening on some of my conversations and stuff like that, real eavesdropping. But other than that, one day I talked to my cousin, and her and I was just talking. She was in the mirror doing her hair. And then I think I told my mom that I was flat out gay. Like, I didn't like guys at all. I tried. It didn't work. Just wasn't working. But I told my cousin, I said, cuz, I gotta tell you something. And she was like, what's up? I said, I'm gay. She said, I already knew that. I was like, wait, what? She was like, yeah, and then this girl, she just flat out started singing, it's written all over your face. And I was like, were you serious? She's like, yeah, everybody knows that. Basically, my family, they were just ready, they were ready for me to say it. And that time my dad wasn't around. So, I think like a year or so later, mind you, I was talking to my dad every now and again. So, long story short, alright, so me and Lonnie at the time we were dating, and my mom comes to me to come to me, because at this time she was with a boyfriend of hers, and she was living with the boyfriend. I was living with the aunt. Mind you, they down the street from each other. Like, they're across the street, but she's down the street, and I'm like up the street. So she came and got me one night while me and Looney were at my aunt's house. We wasn't doing nothing, we was chilling. So she took me back to her place that she got, and I got a call from my dad. And my dad was like, yeah, I need to talk to you about something. And I'm like, at this time I was a teenager, so I didn't want to hear nothing he had to say, because he left me and my mom, you know. So I was like, okay.
You know, divorce.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Well, I'm like, what could you possibly have to talk to me about? At that time, my dad was like, so I heard that you're gay. It's like, okay. It's like, okay, so. And he was like, what happened? I'm like, what you mean what happened? Wait, and pause. Parents feel like when you go through that B2K phase, or you have that B5 phase, Chris Brown phase, all that teenage phase, they feel like you are going to automatically stay the same.
Boy crazy.
Basically, I grew up. So, next thing you know, I told him, I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Because I had a crush on a guy that I never met, but he was popular and he was a singer or
Little
a rapper.
Fizz.
Lil Fizz, you know, who cares? I was like, okay, so with all that being said, he was like, but I used to buy you magazines and you were so crazy about Lil Fizz and all these other guys. I'm like, Pop, I grew up. And on top of that, at this time, I knew for a fact that I fell in love with Looney. I knew that. I knew I fell in love with her. And I was 17 going on 18. You know, and I knew that. So, after a while, he wasn't mad or anything about it. He was just pretty shocked. So, he was okay with it. My mom, she so flip-floppity. She's okay with it 1 minute. Next minute, she feels like she's not going to have grandkids. I'm like, oh my goodness, get over it. I'm going to have grandkids. It's just not the way that y'all, you know, not the natural way that normally it's supposed to go. It's not going to go that way. But other than that, it was pretty chill. My family members, it wasn't those family members that kind of like disown me because of the fact of my sexuality, you know? And I applaud them for that, but you know, they still got those family members who don't agree with it. But I don't care. I mean, I'm happy who I'm with. Hell, we have a child, for Christ's sakes. So it's like, do what you feel makes you happy. Because if not, you don't want
to die trying to make other people happy. Because then you never lived. Alright guys, so that was just a little bit of our coming out stories. If you all have any comments or questions or y'all would like advice on anything, please feel free to leave that down.
Comment, subscribe.
Yes, definitely comments.
Right.
Comments definitely help. Remember to click that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. This will be more of an advice type of channel and DIYs and things like that, but just the lesbian way.
Or you know, if you having some mixed feelings about something or whatever you need advice on, y'all come talk to us. It don't matter.
Feel free to talk to us.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what community you in, just talk to us. It doesn't
definitely matter. Transgenders,
you could be transgender, you could be a straight person. I don't care. I'm
not judging nothing because God not hiring. Okay,
you sure ain't. You don't never see that on Craigslist.
Stingy. Anyway,
y'all have a good day. We love y'all. Stay safe. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, and we out.
We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.